Johnny Somali is going to trial in Korea. He's finished. By ref says Desu. A complete content 180, but I like to. But I like to. Let's go. I'm curious what happened again.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we got some big updates regarding the nuisance streamer Johnny Somali.
Yeah, big updates, big updates. Yes, beat his ass. True and real. There are actually a few age regressors on YouTube, if you can believe it. It's not just a TikTok thing. I assume so. I assume so. I think they're everywhere. Like if you were to look like on like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, horrendous app. It's like old Twitter. You probably find enough of these people everywhere.
So on the scale of effing around and finding out, Johnny Somali is currently entrenched on the finding out stage during his time at Korea. So as you can see, Legal Mindset here shares an article from Korea reporting that Johnny Somali has been indicted on a set of charges and is going to trial. And the specific set of charges he is facing...
Bro is going to prison! It's about damn time bro is going to prison. Well, maybe, we'll see. I do hope so. You know. Also the scale is like... The scale that the guy made is like different, right? The more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. And he's on a 10 find out and 10 fuck around stage right now.
Are actually quite serious because the evidence related to that is both public and very set in stone for him. It seems like he is absolutely cooked if this keeps moving forward. Now, before we get into the specifics with these updates, let's just talk about Johnny Somali recently, right? We know his stay in Korea has been a very messy one. He is right now on somewhat of an apology tour trying to save face, where he has shaved his head and tried to apologize for some...
He shaved his head. What are you, 4B? What are you? Did you shave your head because Donald Trump won? What is this? What kind of apology is that? Especially since you're a dude. Like, that doesn't say anything. Send this guy to the north. They don't want them either. They probably shoot him before he gets there. Did you go to IKEA? Huh? What do you mean, Zoom the Pie? I don't understand.
Some of the more offensive things he has done during his stay in Korea, but obviously nobody is buying that. And also, to give you an idea of just how quickly things fell apart for Johnny Somali, he was doing his normal routine in Korea once he arrived only about a month ago. You know, going around being annoying for content, but once he took it to the next level, things will never go back for him. And that involves his antics with comfort women statues where he was...
I haven't even seen that one. He doesn't even wear... He doesn't wear a shirt. Here. Ew. That's new information. I didn't even see this screenshot and clip. Apology tour when he disrespected Korean comfort women statues. Seems like it. Seems like it. He's not... He's just on a damage control tour, to be fair. I think he has apologized in, just regularly in English. He also has, he also apologized in Korean. But, like, yeah, he's not getting out of this. He has a very punchable face, yeah, just to drag my hand across his face, you know? Just gently push my hand into his face. Forget Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. We need Johnny Somali versus Mike Tyson. I have to say, that fight was absolutely pathetic. That's all I can say. Like, I'm sad for the people that just paid to fight to see this fight. It was absolute. This was just sad to watch. Of course, he goes to jail because he's blah. Never mind.
groping, dancing on, and kissing these statues, which is so offensive that it caused national outrage. And a lot of people started following him on his streams, finding him whenever he would go live, and they started beating him up to the point where Johnny Somali tried to leave the country, but was denied by Korean law enforcement because he is under investigation for a long series of charges, including offenses related to drug possession as well as assault. And these specific charges that he might actually face are quite serious in Korea.
Oh, it's not just drug possession, right? It's not just drug possession. As far as I understand, if they catch you and they find out that you have drugs in your blood, you're already done. They treat their drug laws very harshly. Very harshly.
Korea and could land him with 10 plus years in jail. Now, there's also another subset of potential charges people have been talking about over the past couple of days. So Johnny Somali made a deepfake of a Korean streamer named Bong Bong. So they had done some streams together, but
What? I mean, I know that's big over there, right? I know that, but you're also added to that? Why do you know so much about drug laws? I just saw a tweet. That's it. I just saw a tweet. That's also new information. Because remember, Korea has a huge problem with deep AI deepfakes. To the point where they even do it with school girls. Because remember, South Korea is where South Koreans, Korea's men are very, very, very Let's just say that when people say that we have like misogynists here, the misogynists in quotes here in the West are like a 0.5 out of 10. Literally, it is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. There, they hate, for example, pregnant women. Like, I'm not kidding. We have proof they hate pregnant women. Simply on the basis that she's pregnant and has slept with another guy. South Korea is very weird. There's some streamers that are offensive live in some Asian that are offensive live in some Asian countries, like for Japan, for example. Yeah. He was also in Japan. They just threw him out. The law enforcement feels like very incompetent in Japan, though. Because that should have happened in Japan already.
Johnny Somali thought it was a good idea to post several AI-generated videos, including one where he was making out with this streamer. And as you can see in the corner here, you can see the watermark of the AI tool that he was using to make this. And the individual, the Bong Bong streamer, has dropped the potential lawsuit that she was threatening to raise against Johnny Somali, but that doesn't really matter because what he did is a criminal offense in South Korea. As you can see from Reuters here, this is a very big deal in South Korea. Deepfakes are taken very seriously. In fact, they can carry up to 3 years in jail.
Another one. Hate pregnant women. Well, their birth rate doesn't lie. It starts to the more I find out about Korean men, the more the birth rate starts to make sense. Like, it's also financial reasons. Let's not deny that. Korean men and women can't afford children. Like, it's even worse than it is here in the West. From what I've heard. Yeah, and they stream themselves and annoy people in Japan. Yeah, that's what nuisance streamers do. Remember Logan Paul, who did similar things? Yeah.
Jail and a 30 million won fine, about $22,000. They take this stuff very seriously, and this is just one of the many, the infinite potential charges Johnny Somali could be facing. And all of this stuff, by the way, is recorded and it's publicly available because he streams everything that he is doing. However, this is the biggest update. Like I said, Legal Mindset shares this article, and we'll hear from him later in this video about some of the specifics of the charges he is facing. But this is an article from the Xunyang Daily. Okay, they say this: Johnny Somali to face trial over convenience store outburst. Johnny Somali, a US streamer known for his offensive online antics, will face trial for creating a commotion in a convenience store. The Seoul Western District Prosecutor's Office said Tuesday that the streamer, whose legal name is Ramzi Khalid Ismail, was indicted without detention, charged with obstruction of business. The police handed over the streamer to the prosecution Wednesday. Now, this is very interesting. So, to make
Interesting. 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 I think I saw that clip though. Is that a clip where he also threw noodles at people? I could be wrong though. That is the second time he did that. That's why South Korean, Japan, and China population in decline, because most young adults don't want to have kids. I think the reasons for Japan are a lot more different than the reasons for example, Korea. And like China is at their own fault because they had like that like one child or two child policy, and now they have way more old people than young people. They all share the same issue, but the reasons as to why that issue has occurred are different. I saw Logan kissing a boxing opponent. I thought I could tell deepfakes apart, but that got me before I looked in the comments. That's wild. That's wild. Or are they talking about Jake Paul? Because Logan doesn't box, I think. Or does he?
make things clear in the legal process here, some people are saying he's like guilty already, he's going to jail, he's been found guilty on whatever charge. That's not happened yet. It's likely to happen down the road, but right now, Johnny Somali has been indicted, which means these charges were proposed.
Lord, make this happen. It would be so funny. Please make it happen. Thank you.
To the prosecutor's office, they accepted them, and they have now indicted Johnny Somali with these charges. And the one that he is facing is actually very interesting. It wasn't the drug possession or the alleged assaults or the deepfakes or anything like that. It was a convenience store disruption that he caused. Now, this is the actual clip. We have shown this before when we were just covering his general antics in Korea.
Oh, so I have seen it. Oh, so I've already seen this in this case. The clip. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting, I would say. So I have seen this. So this is the clip where he threw, like, noodles at people. I can't tell Jake and Logan apart. They are the same person to me. Oh, you can definitely tell them apart. Well, it doesn't seem like that. I think Jake is the more mature brother out of these two. China already said that they allowed people to have 3 kids, but it didn't work anyway. Yeah, because if you condition a society to not have kids, guess what? It takes time to uncondition a society to have kids again. That's why we also here in the West have less and less children, because we have conditioned society to have less children. Now, it is also hugely expensive to have children. But, I forgot my point. I forgot my point. Anyways, um, it is expensive to have children, but again, we have also conditioned, especially women, to not have children. Mature, I think we have a different definition of mature. I think due to the fact that he is a boxer in quotes, I do think that he acts a little more mature. I've not heard as many controversies around Jake Paul that I've heard around Logan Paul. Because that whole Lunchley situation was embarrassing.
Yeah. But basically, he went to a convenience store in South Korea. Oh my God. There's copyrighted music, by the way. I have to mute this just so YouTube itself doesn't bonk me. But basically, Johnny Smalley goes into a convenience store where, very importantly, early on, he is asked to leave by the convenience store owners. But instead, Johnny Smalley plays loud music. He starts dumping ramen all over the table. He throws ramen at people, starts dancing around, annoying the customers, doing all sorts of things. You can see right here, throwing ramen at people, right? Being an absolute menace. Doing something that could easily be described as, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Obstructing a business. And this is a very serious thing. It may not sound serious to you, but in South Korea, this charge can carry a lot of time in jail and some big fines that we'll get into in just a second. But to further collaborate or corroborate what we're talking about here.
But we have the video. Bro is in this case pretty much cooked. We have the video. I consider both of them childish. They are both childish, but I think Logan is the more childish one. By a lot.
Here. Believe it or not, Johnny Somali actually has a TikTok account, which is kind of surprising. It's pretty much the only platform he has left at this point. He's been banned on Kick. He's been banned on multiple accounts on YouTube. He's banned on multiple accounts on Twitter. But he does have this TikTok, Johnny Somali here, where recently he uploaded this video. Again, I'm muting because of copyright. But Johnny Somali here, he is standing in front of the U.S. Embassy in Seoul, and he is flashing his passport. Now, here's something very interesting. All of my United States viewers probably already made this observation, but for those who don't know, there's something off about that U.S. passport of his. Why is that? Well, if you're from the United States and you have a passport, you are likely aware that your passport is blue. It's like a navy blue color. And his passport, obviously, is not that color. It is purple. So that tells people...
Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Great. Now I can spot fake passports from the United States. Awesome. Mr. Beast allegations are insane. For his dog pack 404 exposed him. Then the Mr. Beast game Amazon lawsuit. I think you cannot tell me that there isn't a lot of shady things happening in the background around Mr. Beast. You cannot tell me that. First rule of doing a crime: don't film a video, dumbass. Yep. Don't film yourself committing a crime. And if you do, good riddance.
People like me that Johnny Somali had his passport taken away, at least temporarily, by the South Korean authorities. And then he was issued this new passport through South Korea. So that tells us that he has actually been taken in and had his passport taken away, which is something that is very serious. That doesn't just happen to Joe Schmo tourists walking down the street. They are very seriously treating Johnny Somali. He is not just some nuisance streamer. He is someone being treated very seriously by the government and by law enforcement. So let's now focus on some of the quotes from Legal Mindset here. If you don't know, he is an attorney who covers many different legal issues. And I'll put a link.
Yeah, Legal Mindset also likes to, what's the word? Look at cases for VTubers also. Very interesting here and there. I think bro might genuinely be cooked. I think he might be cooked. Imagine Johnny got in jail in North Korea. He'll be dead right now. If he did this in North Korea, it would have been like the first offense. He would have been in jail. Let's be honest, bro would have been gone immediately.
Link to this video, and you can check out his channel if you want to as well. I highly recommend it. But he's going to tell us a little bit about the specific law that Johnny Somali violated and what he's being indicted for. So let's listen to what Legal Mindset had to say.
But let's read 314. This is what he's charged with. Interference with a business. A person who interferes with a business of another by the method of Article 313, that's the former article, so we'll read that one in a second, or by the threat of force, and we're going to get into what threat of force means, shall be punished by imprisonment for not more than 5 years or by a fine not exceeding 15 million won. By the way, whenever there's a fine exceeding 3 million won, you can be deported.
So as Legal Mindset, his chat, and I'm sure most of you watching this video would say about that possibility of being deported, no, you keep Johnny Somali. We don't want him, especially in the United States.
We don't want him. True. And you better not be in Germany, thank you. Put him in jail for 5 years. Bye-bye, bro.
Keep him away. Being deported is the only win that Johnny Somali could possibly have at this point. That is his only winning option. His only winning hand at this point is to be deported.
We don't want him here in Europe either. You can... It's very simple. You can have him back and put him in your jail. I don't care.
Because he is stuck in Korea right now, and he is being tacked on with charges already, and there's already an infinite branch of potential charges he could also face as a result of his publicly documented actions in Korea. So nobody wants to see Johnny Somali deported at this point. It's a get out of jail free card for him, quite literally speaking as well. But you can also see here that Johnny Somali could face up to 5 years for his convenience store outburst. That stuff, like I said, obstruction or interference with business is a big deal, and it's a potential long jail sentence for Johnny Somali.
Yeah, we're gonna spray him with holy water if he comes here. Next.
And I think that is very hilarious. Like I said, of all the wrongdoings Johnny Somali did, who would have thought his little annoying convenience store outburst would be the one that seems like it is concrete, right? Because looking back at the clip we watched just a couple of minutes ago, I mean, everything looks so clear, right? He's being a nuisance. He is obstructing the business. But as Legal Mindset points out, there's this phrase here, threat of force. And that's going to be really important. And he would...
Just imagine going to jail. Just imagine going to jail for throwing noodles at people. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Also mention that during his time in Korea and also just through his connections, he has talked with a lot of people who are not only familiar and work with the Korean legal system, but also people who are just generally knowledgeable of how these things work. And he's going to describe how important this threat of force language is under the statute.
This right here, threat of force, has been used for people obstructing businesses in a wide category of things. So essentially, as soon as they tell you to leave and you do not leave, as soon as they tell you, hey, you need to leave the store, according to what I understand, if you do not leave, if you're obstructing the business, if you're ignoring them, you're ignoring what they're telling you, you can get hit with obstruction of business.
And what does that sound like? That sounds like what Johnny Somali was doing in that convenience store. Like I said, it's very easy to...
I think this idiot might be genuinely cooked. Please don't deport him. Please no, put him in jail. He'll learn once he's in jail. If I went to jail, I wouldn't survive. I hate boredom. At least give me a notebook and pen.
describe his pattern of behavior in that store. He was obstructing the business. He was being a nuisance. He was bothering customers after he was told to leave many times. And he is someone who falls right under some of these looser definitions of threat of force, as pointed out here.
Right? So this has been used successfully against things like, for example, protests. Or things against people that are boycotting, but they're inside the store causing a commotion. So they're obstructing the business in a broad sense. They don't have to be violent and assault anyone. They just have to essentially not comply with your directions, with the directions of the business owner, the employee, right? And they can be hit with this. So understand this is something that can be used more broadly. And it has been used with people that were nonviolent, that were just in the business, right? Causing a commotion, causing a scene, and not following instructions to get out.
So that is very, very significant. I mean, based on that loose interpretation that the Korean legal system has used for threat of force, Johnny Somali just checked that off. And
he did. He annoyed customers. He was told to leave. He caused a mess. Yeah, I think that's how they're gonna get him. I think that's how they're gonna get him.
The fact that they charged him with that specific charge is very, very important to pay attention to. They basically picked what appears to be a slam dunk. Something that is going to likely succeed if it goes to trial, which it appears it is going to trial. So Johnny Somali is really finding out. Because just like any other legal system, if you're going to charge someone, you want to charge something that's going to stick. You're not going to just charge Johnny Somali with 50,000 loose charges. You want to pick something that he is unlikely to wiggle away from. And likely he's also going to be working with a public defender. Like, I doubt he's going to hire his own defense attorney in Korea or has even the ability or the means to do so. So he is going to be facing a very uphill battle on a set of charges that he looks dead in the water.
Bro is actually finally cooked. Imagine that. They definitely have his ass in this case, because we have it on camera, caught in 4K. You better wish it wasn't a death note. I'll be safe. You can't spell.
Water on. He looks dead in the water with this stuff. And I want to add one more thing before we go here. It appears that Johnny Somali, through what appears to be Discord messages, is claiming.
Johnny Somali says he's filing charges against the legal mindset. Also, why is this freak calling himself Somali Epstein? Check his hard drive. Check his hard drive now.
He's filing charges on legal mindset now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is flipping the script and saying that legal mindset needs to worry about the charge he's filing against him. Wow, that is very interesting stuff coming from Johnny Somali. Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to press charges and to file a lawsuit. I should say file a lawsuit here against legal mindset while he is quite literally facing trial for his own criminal actions, or alleged criminal actions at this point. He's going to be facing some bigger things. So this is just another empty threat from Johnny Somali. I mean, we can add legal mindset to the list of people Johnny Somali has threatened with a...
Bro is allegedly being charged. Allegedly. Always need to say allegedly. The audacity. I don't see any issue. It's true. I even can correct you now on Twitter.
A lawsuit, including Dexerto, PewDiePie, among many others at this point, I'm very sure. But again, to really bring this home, I mean, to think, this is going to be his undoing potentially in Korea and for his nuisance streaming career. He just couldn't leave people alone. And I think of all the things, he's done a lot of terrible things, but for this to be the downfall, the potential downfall of Johnny Somali is really poetic. It's poetic. You know, just the definition of a nuisance streamer. Goes into public in a foreign area and is annoying and just disrupts everyone's day. And if this is what brings him in, that is poetic, like I said.
Rush just emptying his cup on the table
And if
and
he
then
thinks he's
throwing
having
the shit out of the window. Imagine spelling bastard 2 times wrong. Imagine that. Couldn't be me.
a hard time, by the way, having a hard time walking the streets, a free
That's 3 times.
man in Korea right now is a tourist. Wait till he goes into jail potentially. Do you think he's going to do very well? This is a man who is not only a foreigner.
This is not a man. This is a little bitch. This is not a man.
Who would be in a foreign prison system, which is already a lot of trouble for someone in a situation like that. But this is someone who's there because he is openly disrespecting the culture. That is going to be a brutal, brutal experience if he ends up there. And honestly, again, just like anyone observing what's going on here, nobody feels sorry for this dude. He has reaped what he has sown for a very long time. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens next with this trial that has been
You saw the chick that just walked in and then immediately walked out. It's like, I've seen enough, I gotta leave.
indicated. And if we have any updates, of course, you're going to hear it from me. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topic.
My thoughts are very simple. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Bye-bye. Good riddance. You had your chance, right? But it's over. Allegedly. It's over. So yeah, have fun in prison.